June 20th, 3:30 work session to order, please. Roll call, Mr. Hopkins.
Dominic, Present. Johnson, Jackson, Lynn, Bowman, Hawthorne, Gage Watts,
Here.
Middleton,
Here.
Atkins,
Here.
Chavez,
Here, sir.
Smith,
Here.
Epperson.
Present.
We have a quorum, Mr. President.
Thank you. We will have the invocation by Commissioner Bowman and the Pledge of Allegiance by Commissioner Stormy Gage Watts. Everybody please stand.
Heavenly Father, we come once again, Lord, just bow heads and humble hearts, dear Master. Lord, just thanking you for this day. Thank you for forgiveness of sins. Lord, just ask that you continue to guide each and every one of us. Help us to make decisions that are both productive and progressive and that are beneficial for the parish, Lord, and help us to do things that's pleasing into your sight. Guide us, protect us as we leave here as well. These are the blessings we ask and think in your Son, Jesus' name, Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen.
Please face the flag and repeat in unison the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Woody.
Are there any agenda additions? I do not see any agenda additions. We will move on to citizens' comments. All citizens have 3 minutes to discuss whatever they would like. The first person on the agenda is Lena Levinston.
What are you doing?
Please state your name and address. Good afternoon.
My name is Lena Levinston, and it is my pleasure to come this afternoon just to say thank you. Thank you for your continued support of Biz Camp. We wanted to let you know that we have 47 students enrolled this year, and the reason why I only brought one is because tomorrow we're doing our business plans. We're presenting those plans before the judges, and so the students are busy now tweaking their plans, making sure that they do those little last-minute changes. Our camp this year is held at Northwestern State University Nursing School. Normally, for the past 5 or 6 years, we've been at Centenary College, but Northwestern State University happened to be at our banquet last year, and they liked the things that they saw and what we were doing, and they asked us if they could have the pleasure of housing us this year. So they have given us an entire building there at Northwestern for Biz Camp. Also, we have had we've done so many things, and we're trying to help so many students, but we do want to say thanks to you, because without the support from people like you, from organizations like yours, Biz Camp would not be possible. For as you know, this is our 16th year doing this, and I've been with the camp for 16 years, and we have so many success stories that it would take too long for me to tell you. But I do want to let you know that our banquet, which is going to be held on June the 30th at the Riverdome, Horseshoe Riverdome, one of our Biz Camp students from the year 2003, who runs a business here in Shreveport, he's going to be our speaker, and so we are inviting all of you to be sure and come. Also, we hope that some of you, I know Ms. Stormy Gage Watts has consented to judge for us, but we hope that when we leave today, some of you will volunteer to come tomorrow and be our judges. We will be needing judges from 9 to 11, from 11 to 2, and from 2 to 4. Again, I want to say we thank you so much. We really thank you, and we hope that we will always have, in fact, we know we will always have your continued support. Thank you. Right now, I have Kelsey Barnes with me. I only could bring one student. I drive a small car, but they're all really busy trying to tweak their plan. So I just said I'll bring one student. Just let her tell you thank you from the students at Biz Camp. Kelsey.
Thank you so much for y'all's time. As Ms. Lena previously stated, my name is Kelsey Barnes. I'm a student of the Shreveport Job Corps Center. It is my pleasure to extend thanks to you on behalf of the 47 students enrolled in Biz Camp, the Executive Director of ICE, Mr. Roy Burrell, and the faculty and administrative staff. This camp has been hard work, but an enjoyable experience. We are so excited because tomorrow we will present our business plans to the judges for a shot at first place. And then on Wednesday, we will set up our businesses on the Louisiana Boardwalk from 12 to 4:30 p.m. We would appreciate it if you would support both of these events. Again, we would just like to thank you all for your continued support of helping us get ready to own our own businesses. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
That is all the requests that I have.
Okay. We have no visitors. We move to reports, administrator report.
Mr. President, Commissioners, good afternoon. We have a couple items before you today. First, I'd like to read a little statement that I prepared. I'm very excited to let everyone know that the Caddo Parish Commission has received the Nickel Achievement Award for the Juvenile Services Department in the area of human trafficking. And Ms. Lori McGee and her fine distinguished crew, they're not here because they don't want to get into the public view because of what they do, but they are very professional and they received the Nickel Achievement Award. And since 2014, they have been working with children and they have rescued 80 children from the hands of human traffickers. So they are to be commended for their exceptional hard work. And she's not here today, but she is very professional at what she does, and she is the director, the manager for the probation department within juvenile services. So job well done to her. And also, it's my distinguished pleasure to read this to you all, coming from the GOFA, which is the Government Finance Officers Association. And it says, Dear Dr. Wilson, I'm pleased to notify you that the Caddo Parish Commission, Louisiana, has received a Distinguished Budget Presentation Award for the current budget for the Government Finance Officers Association. This award is the highest form of recognition in government budgeting and represents a significant achievement by your organization. When a Distinguished Budget Presentation Award is granted to an entity, a certificate of recognition for budget presentation is also presented to the individual or department designated as being primarily responsible for its having achieved the award. So this has been presented to Ms. Erica Bryan, Director of Finance and Human Resources, for the Distinguished Budget Presentation by the GOFA. Oh, so
Nice work, Eric.
great job, Ms. Erica. And by the way, we have gotten this award many times, but it still comes with hard work and presentation. So she's to be commended, Ms. Bryan. You and your staff are doing a great job putting the budget together. And our budget book goes before a panel, and they evaluate the way it's presented in the format. So it does not come lightly, the achievement of it. Okay, the next thing I have for you all is I had a request to look into putting outside up front a marquee, electronic marquee, that clearly indicates that the commission is having a meeting on a certain date and certain things going on. So I'm researching that right now. We've currently put our notices on the door, the front door. So if you're driving by, you'll never know what's going on unless you get out your car and look at the front door. So we've solicited an agency to help us take a look at a freestanding sign out front, electronic sign that will display prominently when we have a meeting, whatever activity is going on in the chamber of respective government. So more to come as soon as we get the details worked out. I'll be bringing that back to you all for your consideration to see if you all would like us to go forward. We're getting that done, and we will also have to get with the city of Shreveport to make sure that they are also in favor of putting our sign out front that prominently displays certain times for our meetings. Okay, so that's all I have for you today, unless there's any questions for me.
Commissioner Johnson.
Dr. Wilson,
Yes, sir.
with this marquee that you're putting out front, and it's going to say anytime somebody's doing something inside the chamber?
Yes, sir. It'll be programmable within here, and we can put anything on that sign that displays what's going on.
So is everybody going to pitch in for the marquee?
Yes, sir. What we typically do, with respect to that, it's usually a 50-50 proposition between the parish and the city of Shreveport for this chamber and anything related to it.
Okay. And if they say that they broke, then what?
And then I will certainly come back and ask you all's players to see what y'all like to do.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Hey, Commissioner President, then I have one more thing to say, please.
Okay.
I forgot to tell you all, y'all received a letter from me today on a letter of intent to a prospective company wanting to purchase property that belonged to Caddo Parish. And I made a mistake on the street. It's not General Motors Boulevard. It's Anton Drive, East Anton. So, but that's irrelevant in respect to the fact that we did get the official appraisal back, and we're ready to go forward. So we'll be reaching out to that same person I wrote the letter to, letting them know we had the official appraisal and we're ready to move forward with the sale. So typically what happens, when they indicate to us what they want, we'll bring that to the committee. I think the long-range committee will end up getting that, or whoever the commission designate to take a look at that, the proposition that's going to be coming out of that. So we're going to move forward. It's 107 acres that we currently own, and certainly we'll like to sell that as opposed to leasing it out. So more to come on that as soon as we get some feedback from the prospective client.
In relation to the marquee out front, since the city of Shreveport owns 80% of the building, would they pay for 80% of the signage? Or if it's done 50-50, or how is it proposed?
It's 67-23, is that right?
73-27.
So they own 73%.
73-27, except for the chamber, which is, and things related to the chamber is 50-50.
Oh, that's 50-50.
Okay. I was just curious the cost breakdown. Thank you. That's all. Commissioner Epperson.
Dr. Wilson, in the event that we are successful in the selling of the land,
Yes, sir.
We'll split those funds and go back into the, where did we get that? We got on that, on what we're doing out there at the old General Motors facility. For those funds go 50% into the, where did we get it from? Oil and gas?
Yes, sir.
And 50% from where? Reserve Trust?
Yes, reserve trust
Right.
and oil and gas.
Well, the proceeds will be split and go back into those accounts, right?
Yes, sir.
I think that's what we had stated once, whatever we did out there in reference to economic development. Okay.
That is everybody.
Next, we move to communiques and committee reports.
Commissioner Middleton.
Mine's very simple. I'd like to say hi to my daughter. Drove in from Atlanta for Father's Day. That's her sitting out there. That's my daughter, Polly. That's it.
Hi, Polly.
Thank you.
Hi, Polly. Everybody be good.
Commissioner Atkins.
I just want to remind my fellow commissioners that the applications for the NGO process, we want to remind everybody they're due at the end of this month, the end of June. So if you have organizations that are interested, please inform them of that deadline. Thank you.
Commissioner Chavez.
Tomorrow at Ernest of Orleans from 11:30 a.m. till 2 p.m. we're going to celebrate Tom Pace and 50 years in radio broadcasting. So I'm sure everybody here knows Tom Pace. If you guys want to swing by and give him a pat on the back and tell him good job, we'll all be there and have food and cake and whatnot. Just want to let everybody know.
Time again?
From 11:30 a.m. till 2 p.m. at Ernest Orleans.
Thank you, sir.
Commissioner Jackson.
Dr. Wilson.
Yes.
Appreciate you and your staff for organizing the Economic Development Committee workshop on Friday. I think it's some good information that came out of it. But I also wanted to see if you could help us, and I saw the email traffic this morning about the intergovernmental meeting.
Yes, sir.
But also, I'll be sending you some pictures, and maybe Robert as well, or whoever is our public works person. Grass, no, we don't enforce it in the city limits, but I do have a district that's 98, maybe 99% inner city, and I'm getting the calls about the grass. So maybe you can send that up the chain, and if my emails and calls are not getting responded to, maybe yours could get, you could get an answer for us.
Okay.
As well as T-bone sweeps. I got a call from a distinguished former member of this commission, Mr. Carl Pearson, and I'll repeat it Thursday, so I know he's watching. but they've got some issues over in School Park. And they've called, I've called, nobody can seem to get a response. So maybe you can get a response, and if you can't get a response, I'm almost sure I know who I can go to get a response. But please, if you could send the word wherever those folks are interested in having their grasses cut too. They're interested in having cars that are flat and moved. There's also a house right there on Oregon that looks like it's falling in. So all of that. But I think the area deserves an entire suite, really. The other thing is if we could organize a meeting with the state and DOTD about 4th Street. I see state repairs going on Highway 1 off Uri Drive, which is Uri Drive. A lot of folks don't know Uri Drive is a state highway. I see a lot of work being done on there, but a lot of folks need to know that Ford is a state highway, and a good sermon, after a good sermon from Pastor Blake about 2 Sundays ago. It took me about 20 minutes to get out of the door because folks were asking me about 4th Street, so I could sit down with them. I don't know if they want us to make them alone or what. If we could address 4th Street.
We'll reach out to the regional DOTD director here.
I sent a note to my state representatives. I sent one to the senator too. I don't know if it will ever get answered, but I sent one to him. I've heard back from him, and maybe we can come up with some creative solutions to it, but it's in need. I see other areas getting 4th Street needs to work. And lastly, I saw parish prisoners or inmates doing some work on the north side of Hillary Huckabee. I'm sorry, I'm my bad. I saw the parish inmates doing some work on the north side of Hillary Huckabee. If we could get some work on the northeast side of Hillary Huckabee, they look like they were picking up litter or something. We can get that same attention.
Excuse me.
And I'll repeat most of this on Thursday, so you'll be surprised who watches these things. I'm surprised who watches these things.
Okay. Yeah, we can reach out to the sheriff's department on that as well.
Please.
We do pay for some of those services.
Okay.
The supervision of the crews, we pay that part of it.
Thank you, Doc.
Okay.
Commissioner Stormy Gage Watts.
Thank you, Mr. President. I also would like to be included in that meeting about state highways.
That's where I'm
Greenwood
going.
Road is one of my biggest complaints, and I too have reached out, and so we do need to have some type of meeting to see what can be done about those areas that are of great concern to the constituents. Also on July 7th at 2 p.m. for the Code Enforcement Committee, we will have a meeting at 2 p.m. July 7th. And that is all. Thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner Bowman.
That was it. She read my mind. I wanted to add what you were saying, because for years, even when my mother was asking, we just really need to know what's going on, because people hound us, like Commissioner Jackson said, and Gage Johnson knows too. Wherever we go, they're like, they think because it's in the city that it's our issue and that we're just not, being lackadaisical about it. But I mean, it tears up. It messed up my alignment twice on my old car. So yes, and it's all, I don't even like coming through there, and I had to represent there.
4th Street?
Not 4th Street,
Okay.
Greenwood Road.
Greenwood Road?
Everywhere by Willis Knight and it's fixed, except for by there.
We'll have the DOT director come and talk to us.
If they can just put some type of
Asphalt
blacktop
overlay or
something, because it's holes there. I don't see why people who work don't see that when they pass. I'm done. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. That is everybody on the board.
Okay.
This time, President's report.
After meeting with Commissioner Chavez and Commissioner Jackson, we asked that all recommendations to serve on the Caddo Parish Courthouse Grounds Committee for Civilian Input, please submit your names and requests to me, mlynn@caddo.org. Also, the Charter Review Committee will be June 22nd. That is this coming Wednesday at 11:30 a.m. In the first floor, and so please show up if you have any interest. Also, this Thursday at 2 p.m., we will have a press conference in presenting the City of Shreveport and other enforcement agencies with the checks to purchase goods and supplies to help keep our community straight. Not included in that presentation, but certainly worth mentioning, is that this year and pretty much every year in the past, the Caddo Parish Commission has given a total of $1.6 million to 54 parish and city agencies for after-school programs, for safety programs, for programs that provide a positive influence for children to attend, to provide an alternative to being on the street and putting themselves in danger. So the money that we just gave to the police departments of roughly $1 million to assorted agencies within Caddo Parish, that is above and beyond the $1.6 million that the parish has already dedicated this year. And plus we have that additional $100,000 that we have focused primarily looking at this particular summer to have safe streets, to provide after-school programs, and to do a gun buyback, and to take our community back, and to provide a safe environment for everybody that lives in Caddo Parish. And so the parish is certainly moving forward on that. That is the end of my president's report.
I think we have a couple
Commissioner Epperson.
questions.
What's the courthouse grounds committee? What's that?
That has to do with everything on the courthouse grounds.
I know, but who's on it?
We haven't assigned that. If you have any names of anybody that you would like to have on that committee, please have them email me their request.
Oh, but I'm talking about, is this a standing committee of this body? Are there any members of this body that's on that committee?
It would be on the long range. It would be an adjunct to the long range planning committee, as you have indicated or requested.
I didn't see anything about a courthouse grounds committee. We stated a subcommittee. That was the vote that came out of the long-range planning committee last week. You know, you're getting it kind of muddled here.
Oh, that's it. Then that's the same thing.
No, it isn't the same thing.
Okay, then it's what you say.
Right, and we'll deal with that on down the line on the agenda. Okay.
Okay.
But I think that's not germane to what we are doing here. If you're going to have a courthouse grounds committee, you should have put that out at the beginning of the year, at the beginning of your tenure as president. First and primarily putting members of this body on it, which has not been done.
Commissioner Jackson.
I forgot my train. On Thursday, I got the email traffic. If we could, is that Thursday at 2 or 2:30? 2. Okay, I was just gonna make sure that we include, because it seemed like we're getting too heavy of a focus on one agency. If we could make sure we include all of those, because I think there were some little small towns that got.
We're going to extend an invitation to them. You know, there's no guarantee they will come, but as many would come. But the primary agency is the City of Shreveport, the Sheriff's Department. Those folks that receive the majority of the money, hopefully they will be there.
And could we invite the district attorney as well, because we maybe reach out to him. I passed them at the festival this weekend and told him it would be forthcoming.
Yes, sir.
So if we could reach out to him and invite the DA.
Okay.
He's interested in working with us now and down the road.
Okay.
Appreciate it.
Commissioner Johnson.
Yeah, I just had questions about the grounds committee, courthouse committee. Is that gonna be Thursday? If the people in the public submit an email to you, do we then vote on those? Or
That's assigned by the president.
That's assigned by the president.
Yes.
And I guess all our committees are done that way, ad hoc?
Yes, they are.
All right, I'll save my other questions for later.
Commissioner Atkins.
Just a logistical question. Commissioner Jackson, don't we have an economic development committee meeting?
We deferred to I apologize, Commissioner, appreciate the reminder. We're going to defer for this purpose here. We'll probably meet the first meeting in July. So we'll push our standing economic development committee meeting back.
But you'll notify?
Right, I think we were trying to work within the mayor's schedule and the sheriff's schedule. So we're trying to work within their schedule.
Okay, thank you.
Commissioner Cawthorn.
Yeah, just a point of clarification. I was in the long-range planning committee meeting a couple of weeks ago relative to the monument piece. I think the recommendation was, I just got to go back and look at the notes, was to assemble a group of people, persons who, from a historical perspective, was for maintaining the monument and people who were opposed to maintaining the monument for the purpose of a dialogue. So the committee that you just discussed, that's the same
Yes,
purpose?
sir. Yes,
Okay.
it is.
And so we got to drill down on exactly how we're going to formulate this, who's going to be a part of it, and what's going to be the core dialogue to come out of this. Because the way you just stated it, make it sound like, well, we might be getting some people from the city to come clean up the courtyard. I just want to make sure what we're talking about.
You are correct and much more specific. Yes.
Okay. All right. Cool.
Commissioner Epperson.
To Mr. Cawthorn and others assembled around here that may not be familiar with the process of a committee. A committee is a representative of the body of a whole, a certain segment that is given a specific charge to deliberate from the main body in a smaller group, then bring forth the recommendations to the full body, which transpired on June the, whatever that date, the 9th. June the 9th. That was the recommend. Now, what should have happened, minutes should have been transcribed. That's why I have that on the agenda today.
Okay.
And whatever the recommendation from that committee come up with, it should be presented to the full body, and we vote upon it and take those recommendations. That's the purpose of committees. Not for someone to get and change because they figure that they're in charge. You cannot change what's already in progress.
I think we've changed the president's report back to the committee reports is what I think has happened.
So when we'll deal with that, Mr. Cawthorn, is upon the issue that's on the agenda down here. That's when that should be dealt with. So what was mentioned here by the courthouse ground committee is null and void.
Commissioner Jackson, do you have anything for the president?
Oh, no, I'm sorry.
Thank you. That's the end of my president's report. Thank you, Mr. Hopkins, and thank you, Mr. Epperson.
Excuse me, sir.
I'm finished.
Okay. We'll move, we have no old business, we move to new business. Authorized introduction of zoning case P716 in regards to ordinance number 5596, amending the zoning of property located on the west end of Brandon, south of Singleton, from RA Residential Agriculture District to R1H, Urban One Family Residence District.
Move to advance to the regular session.
Second. Moved by Commissioner Johnson, second by Commissioner Dominic. Commissioner Johnson, did you want to speak on that?
Yes. You have a copy of the what happened with the NPC in front of you. I've gotten plenty of calls. I actually met with the residents on Brandon Street about this particular deal. There was nobody on Brandon Street that was at that meeting that supported it, and it was about 9 to 10 different households that was represented on Brandon Street and Singleton Street. They have some outstanding issues right now. Drainage from the apartments that's above that, and also drainage from the trailer park that impacts the neighborhood and the street. There's also some sewage oil that's also draining down into the neighborhood as well. And so putting additional homes, whether they be trailer or modular homes in that area, will just impact that even worse. There's a sewer district that's responsible for that area, and they have a pump that's down there. And if that pump goes out, automatically it overfills and it goes, and then it comes into the neighborhood. If they have heavy rains, they have the same type of issue. So right now, this was not be feasible to do, but I want to make sure that we advance it to vote on it because the MPC pretty much punted the ball to us instead of making a recommendation. So that's the only reason why I want to advance it so that we can vote to hopefully kill it. Thank you.
Commissioner Dominic.
Is this the one that individual called me about? I told him to call you, or is that something different?
Probably so.
Yeah, I can't remember his name. He was asking me what district it was in. I told him it was yours right off Pine Hill Road. Remember?
Yes, that's it.
Type of housing subdivision. So the MPC, they didn't say.
Just punted it to us.
All right. No one talked punt? But we got to catch the punt and run with it, huh? One way or the other, kick it back.
Right.
All right, thank you.
Commissioner Jackson.
Good.
Everybody please vote.
Hawthorne.
Sorry about that.
That moves to Thursday. Next item.
Authorize introduction of zoning case P816 in regards to ordinance number 5597, amending the zoning of property located on the south side of Southern Loop, 1,265 feet west of Norris Ferry Road, from B2E Neighborhood Business Extended Use to B2 Neighborhood Business District, with site plan approval.
Move to advance to Thursday.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Atkins, second by Commissioner Bowman. I see no one on the board. Please, oh, excuse me, Commissioner Atkins, did you want to speak on this?
Well, I'd be happy to just quickly say that MPC has recommended that this advance, and the property's been cleared to the south side of Southern Loop. There have been ordinance change signs out for several weeks now. There's been no response from any residents in District 9. It's a logical commercial location, so it should be appropriate.
Commissioner Bowman, did you want to speak on your second?
Ditto.
Commissioner Jackson.
Gonna ask, so after Thursday, Mark, we'll no longer get these? Would this be an example?
Are you talking about the site plan approval component?
Right, that's what this is, right?
That would be August 1st. It starts August 1st.
But we won't, this right here, something
Yeah,
like
you would
this.
still see it as an exhibit, but there won't be anything that you make any decisions on, just the zoning itself.
Appreciate it.
That is correct.
Thank you. No one else is on the board. Please vote. That moves to Thursday. Next item, please.
Authorize introduction of ordinance number 5598 of 2016, authorizing the administrator to enter into an agreement with Assure Systems LLC into intergovernmental agreement with Caddo Parish tax recipient bodies. And I think that's Assure. Is that right? Assure.
Commissioner Jackson.
I'm not making a motion, but I just was trying to figure out what is this, or could somebody give us a briefing? And it seemed like I don't know. It's the same.
Commissioners, basically what that is Assessure is a company out of South Louisiana that has developed a program that will go through the property rolls to determine whether there are properties that are improperly listed as homestead exempt. What they will do is go back and compare the list to see if persons have passed on, if persons are actually out of state paying taxes but not living in the property, and doing that kind of thing. What they will then do in turn is provide that list to the tax assessor in order for the tax assessor to send tax notices to those properties that appear to be listed in error. And monies collected due to those new listings are what they are paid out of. And so since all of that money is split among the tax recipient bodies, the school board, the parish, fire districts, or whatever, there has to be an agreement for all of those entities to pay their proportional share of what comes out of any newly collected taxes. But there's no additional fees other than what comes out of taxes that are collected due to updating the list.
Is there a way for them to look at some of these other businesses doing business as nonprofits and not paying property taxes, or that's putting the cart before them?
Yeah.
I was about to say, all the only program they've presented
Homestead.
to us that they have are the homestead exemptions.
And I appreciate the explanation. Maybe at some point we can have a conversation about, I don't know if we looked or if these people approached us, but trying to do some local folks as well, and searching out local folks as well, but appreciate it.
Yeah, I think that they're the only ones that provided service that we know of. Yeah, because they came and gave a presentation a few months back.
Charlie's out here in the audience.
Yeah.
I don't remember it either.
Nice to meet you.
Huh?
I'm not opposing this. I'm just saying we got a lot of folks coming from down south making.
Right, but they're the only ones I've talked to that have the program that can go through and look at a lot of different information from other states and across the state and help us determine if they really still have a homestead here. They did a sampling for us this year, and a lot of the folks had already passed away, and people still living in the house and still getting a homestead. We didn't know they passed away because we don't have access to a death certificate. Also, when people sign homesteads that have usufructs, you've already given the house to somebody else or the property, and the people living in the house may have died 2, 3, 4 years ago, and we have no idea because the property is already transferred. So they have a way of finding some of this information. Then we'll go back through and determine if we feel like that should be not homestead exempt. We'll take it off, give the information to the sheriff or to the tax commission. They supplement it to be supplemented to the tax roll, and then they tell the sheriff, this is due, go out and collect the tax on it.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Okay.
Commissioner Dominic.
So moved.
Second.
Been moved by Commissioner Dominic, seconded by Commissioner Atkins. Right, but but I realize that, and you'll still be able to speak, but he just made a motion. And he gets to speak on his motion, and whoever made the second will get to speak on their second before the people on the board get to speak. And so, who gave the second? And second by Commissioner Atkins. Would you like to speak on your motion?
Just a quick thing, if I'm reading this, Charlie, you better stay up here. So this is a organization that's going to go out and find out about people who shouldn't be claiming on homestead. Is this going to cost, how much is it going to cost the parish? Is it going to cost us anything?
No, the fees come out of money that they collect.
Fees come out of the money, so
whatever money
if it's a full homestead, that saves you about $980 in taxes. So if we go back and take the $980 savings out and send them a bill for $980, that once it's collected,
did they get a percentage?
No. Once it's collected, the first year is $400, and then that $400 is split between all the tax recipient bodies on their pro rata share.
Was it $400 per house or something like that?
It was $400 per property.
Okay, $400 per property.
Yes.
Okay, and that'll be pro rata share through the commission, the city of Shreveport.
No, city of Shreveport has no homestead.
All right, sheriff's office,
school board, Red River,
Debbie,
Port,
yes.
us,
Yeah, I got you.
fire districts, sewer districts.
All right, so there's no out-of-pocket expenses.
No.
But you think this is a good deal? You're recommending this to us, correct?
Yes.
Okay. We used to have, when we had ordinances like this, we had a fact sheet. There is no fact sheet here, so maybe in the future, if y'all do us a little fact sheet, and we can say, and this is being recommended by the tax assessor, it cuts down on some of this stuff. Because we really, I got this thing, and I read, it's like, what the heck is this about? I could somewhat could see what it was about.
But the better part,
I thinking Todd had misspelled assessor, but I knew he wasn't that bad off. So
I know it was going bad when he said,
But I don't have my glasses on either.
That's it.
It's $400 the first year, and if we go back more years, it's less for each one of those years. So,
well, just for the make of the motion, I think it's a good deal. Hopefully some of these questions are answer for you guys, and I'll get off the board and let whoever else talk for a few minutes. And let's
Okay.
get this thing going and pass it, move it to Thursday.
Commissioner Atkins, did you have anything?
I'm good, thank you.
Commissioner Chavez.
I believe I'm speaking on the original, not his motion. So do we have to vote on his motion, or should I go ahead and speak now?
No, you can speak now.
Oh, okay.
I mean, there's only one motion on there.
Okay, I didn't actually want to speak. I want to make a motion.
Right. And it's like you jumped to.
Commissioner Johnson.
Oh, okay. I think Doug and Stephen asked most of my questions, but once they come in this year and do this, we hire them again the following year, or we find somebody locally
deal.
that can try to keep this?
Yeah, once they get the records cleaned up, it'll be a while before they have to come back and do it again.
I'm sorry, we can't hear.
Once they get the records cleaned up, it'll be a while before they have to come back and do it again.
So just a one-time fee, just 1 year that they do this?
It depends on how
long?
many years you go back. The first year is $400. If it goes back further, it goes down to like $350, and I think the third year is like $250 is the fee that comes out of the collection for each one of those years.
Right, but I'm saying
once they
moving
clean the
forward.
records up, they'll have to keep doing it every year.
No.
There's only one
Let's say
time.
it's
Once they get it
one-time
cleaned
fee.
up,
Periodically, maybe.
you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. But I would say that we probably need to get somebody locally that could do this at a much
If they
cheaper
have
rate.
access to the software. But sometimes the software is proprietary. That's why the uniqueness is only having somebody doing it, because the development of the software to do it.
But they also gotta have the record, so the record has to be something public in order for them to get. I mean, they could just be following all the obituaries across a certain parish.
Yeah.
I mean, it could be as simple as that. We really don't know what it is. But they're getting some type of public record in order to put it into this database. So it's nothing takes a rocket science. It's just somebody to sit down and to do it.
I will say though, what they have is kind of like an app or a program that is proprietary to them, whereas anybody else at this point would actually have to either physically search those records or manually do it through a computer, what the app does. And they would probably charge a little bit more because they would probably charge you an hourly rate as opposed to something out of collection.
Unless you got somebody who is starting up a company, entrepreneur, and is trying to get it going, and we could be their pilot program.
Do we know anybody?
I can find somebody to start a program.
Get out.
Right here.
There he is.
Conflict of interest.
But it's all right.
You got these incubators around, and I'm quite sure somebody out there would love to jump on something like this and put the technology in place and use Caddo Parish as a pilot. So, I mean, this thing you can think about. Let somebody in Caddo make some money.
Keep Caddo money in Caddo.
Right. Sounds
Yeah,
good.
that's all I had.
Commissioner Middleton.
Call for the question.
Hold on. Do I get to make my motion because I was?
No, you can vote no on call for the question if you want.
Who made the motion?
And it can die for lack of a second. Died for lack of a second. And so, Commissioner Chavez.
I want to move it to committee. That's my motion.
Second.
Second. We need to keep Caddo Parish jobs here. We need
Which
to look at
committee?
here. I'll leave it up to you, President, but I'm thinking something to do with economic development. Because
I just want somebody to know what they're doing.
just need a second, huh?
Yeah, you got your
got
second.
second.
Okay, that's, yeah.
Okay. Would you like to speak on your motion?
Absolutely. This is an easy one. It seems like a lot of stuff keeps going down south to South Louisiana. We've already talked about it. We can employ people here. I think Commissioner Johnson said most of what I need to say. So I'd like for us as a body to sit around and see, do we agree on having this? What is it? And have some people up there giving a PowerPoint presentation or such of, hey, why is this a good idea for Caddo Parish before we throw the ball down South Louisiana and let somebody else make money off of us. That's it.
I agree with Commissioner Chavez and with Commissioner Johnson in that I would like to see this go to the Economic Development Committee, and I'd also like to see that things of this nature go to the deciding body before they come to us as a whole, so that we can vet these questions in committee rather than come up here for the whole body and not everybody know what's going on. Commissioner Dominic.
Yeah, I don't know.
Excuse me, I'm sorry, you spoke once already, didn't you? On this? You're the maker of the first one. Go ahead, this is something different, go ahead.
Yeah, I don't remember Commissioner Johnson saying to send this to the Economic Development. I think he just had some questions. Guys, I trust our administrator. I trust Charlie Hennington. I think if y'all just listen to what he just said, was this is the only company that does this in the state. It's going to save us money. I don't see why we need to continue this going on and sending this to a committee. It needs to be done. We need to vote on this. We need to move forward. This is a good thing. Charlie, just one more thing. Is there anybody else around that does anything like this?
Not anybody else in the state I know of. And there's other people out of state. LexisNexis does it.
Okay.
Thomson Reuters
All
does
right.
it.
Let me ask you a couple questions. Now, obviously, you're a member of the, I'm going to say, the Louisiana County Clerks Association.
No, I'm an assessor.
Huh?
I'm the
Assessors
assessor.
Association, right. I mean, are other...
Louisiana Assessors Association.
Okay, other assessors doing this?
Lafayette's doing it. They did it this past year. 4 to 6% of their homesteads were incorrect.
Okay. I think we're just going to kick this ball down the road by sending this committee. I think that what we need to do in the future is y'all need to have a fact sheet. Y'all need to be more specific so we can look at this thing and keep us 12 commissioners from getting confused. I would have liked to see a fact sheet and say, hey, this is going to save us money. It's not going to cost us any money. This is being recommended by Charlie Hennington, our tax assessor, and the pro rata amount, you know, among the other bodies. I think this is a no-brainer. I don't think we need to send it to committee. I think we need to move forward and vote on it after hearing what you got to say.
Yeah, you know, there's several other parishes looking at it right now also. I think Washita was looking at it. We're looking at it. Lafayette's using it. Orleans is looking at it. St. Tammany is looking at it. And that's from their parish. That's where they're out of.
All those South Louisiana people looking for the South
That's
Louisiana
right.
money.
But, you know, us and Washita's looking at it.
I have nothing further.
Okay.
Commissioner Atkins.
Well, I share a lot of Commissioner Dominic's views. I think that this is an administrator type of decision. We've got to allow our administration to make decisions like this and move forward so that they can continue to operate the parish effectively. I also much prefer Caddo businesses over South Louisiana businesses, but in my view, it's impractical to take an opportunity to take a piece of proprietary software that was developed in South Louisiana that a company may have worked for years on, and then try to rally up a couple of local guys to then put that piece together in a timely fashion and develop a product that will be bug-free and effective and efficient and all of that while the parish's work is delayed. So although I respect and admire the intention of putting Caddo people to work, and I know that the Entrepreneur Acceleration Program is working on that type of deal. I just don't think that we can force someone to then, you know, find someone with the right skills and capability and time and capital to develop a piece of software to then apply to Caddo, which in order to pay out, they're probably going to have to apply across the whole country. So I just don't think it's
correct, because
appropriate.
their information comes from all over the country. It's not just in Louisiana. And any other information they find from other parishes when they're doing their work, and it pertains to us, they send us that information also. So they may have some in Lafayette where they're not do a homestead or do a homestead there, and that may apply to us. Since we're not in the program yet, we don't know about it yet.
Thank you.
Thank you. Administrator Wilson.
Yes, sir. I think Commissioner Dominic brought my question up, sir, that the assessor was the one that asked for this because of his association with this company, but certainly we concur with it.
Yeah, we've been looking at these programs probably for 8 to 10 years, and most of them were on a pro rata share, and I refused to look at it until this company came with a flat fee.
Commissioner Bowman.
I just wanted to say I agree with Commissioner Dominic on the part of having the fact sheets out so it won't cause such confusion amongst us or to even to make us think that we have this option to go and find somebody else, because we know in the past that's been a concern that we don't look locally within. But again, we also have to trust you all if that's what you're saying and you're the expert in this. So.
Okay, now also, you know, the company said they can come up here and explain some more more information to y'all if y'all need it on Thursday.
That would be great.
Yeah, they've been here.
Okay, I'll call Mike.
They've been here.
Actually, they've been here, and I've spoken to him on coming when you have the work session before you would have a public hearing on this.
Okay.
For the ordinance, so they are already prepared to come.
Okay, so when
for
would that
work
be?
session. That's gonna be, July the 5th.
Okay, so it's not this Thursday?
No.
Okay, that'd be good.
Commissioner Jackson.
I'm gonna preface what I'm gonna say by saying I don't mean to sound disrespectful to anybody, but I agree with Commissioner Dominic. I need a fact sheet, but I also agree with Commissioner Chavez. This is the second or third time that something administrative have come on the agenda and we didn't know anything about, Mr. Special. So we apologize that we have to act out in front of you. But this is the first time, and when I saw it, I didn't know what it was.
Okay.
So, you know, my good friend Mr. Atkins, every time I put something on the agenda, it's did you run it by, did you give the administration the courtesy and run it by the administration? And if it's gonna work that way, I think it needs to work the other way as well, because the administration is not the one that's being asked to adopt it. The individuals around here are being asked to adopt it. And if somebody around here is not comfortable with it or have questions about it, then they have a right to get more detail. It's called advise and consent. That's what we do. If not, let's all pack up and go to the house. But I get that. I get that. But if y'all don't want to have these discussions like this and have folks become apprehensive of it, I was fine with it, you know, and not saying which way I really don't care whether we move it forward or send it to the committee. My thing is, it seems like, and this goes to another point that I've been making, we come up here and police each other, but it seems like anything administration puts on the agenda, we are just taking and run with it. But that defeats the purpose of advise and consent. And so let's stop wasting every first and third Monday and Thursday of the month coming down here and hand everything over to the 8th floor. All I'm asking is that, and like I said, I prefaced this by saying, I don't mean any disrespect.
Yeah, none taken.
But the conversations I've had, or the conversations I get chewed out about is, well, why you didn't get with administration about this? Well, at the same time, I would appreciate if, and I'm sure that's what Commissioner Chavez is saying, why hadn't administration talked to, and you communicate well, Dr. Wilson. You communicate well. But my thing is, if it's gonna work one way, it needs to work both ways. And that's all I'm saying. And I totally don't mean any disrespect to anybody with those comments. Appreciate it.
I've got a point of order.
Could I give a point of information, how I think we can solve this? If we will follow our bylaws and have our ordinances in by 2 o'clock on Thursday, then those sheets can be attached properly, signed by the administrator, legal can look over it, and I can look over it, and it'll be on the agenda properly for each and every one of you. And I think that'll be the easiest way to solve that problem. We've been good, and it's probably my fault that we tried it to help and give you an opportunity on Friday, but there's no way we can take an ordinance or a resolution on Friday and run it through the proper channels, get all the signatures and get it correct, and then for you to see it. So that may be the easiest way to solve this situation.
Okay. Commissioner Chavez. Oh, excuse me.
Well, like I said, my issue, I don't have an issue with the ordinance per se right now. My thing was I'm going back to some previous conversations that I get kind of chewed out about. So that's my only thing. I don't want anybody to think that I'm taking up an issue with this ordinance. My issue is with us treating each other with the same respect that we treat administration. If I throw something on the agenda without running it up the administrative flagpole, I'm in trouble. And so I would just appreciate the same level of respect. And you do that. You for the most part, you do that. Yeah. This was just an instance where I guess your time ran out. But I don't want Doc to think I'm beating up on him.
Yeah, no problem.
Commissioner Chavez.
Thank you, President. I'm obviously a rookie around here, so I don't really know how this works out, but whose job is this? If we don't pass the ball to somebody else down south, is there somebody in our office on the 8th floor that's supposed to handle this? So nobody handles it, we just...
No, sir. You know, the tax assessor identified a potential area, clean up
Service
area.
being brought to
He asked us if we can approach the other taxing bodies to facilitate this, and we said yes. And certainly that's why we're here. I mean, because of the opportunity he saw cleaning up his records.
The agreements between our office, the
Yeah.
commission, and the sheriff's office.
Right.
But the shared responsibility for the payment would be all tax bodies.
Is it just something that we can't do ourselves and get that revenue for the city and the parish?
We don't have the software to do it.
And we don't have.
And we don't do it, it's his agency. We wouldn't be doing it.
We don't have
We
access to the
no
records.
control over the tax assessor's agency. None at all.
Brand new program, brand new, completely new.
Got one,
I'm
I'd
looking
rather
at it.
use yours.
It's actually not proprietary software. It's a WordPress website, which is pretty easy to build. I know some of our IT guys can probably do this at their house.
But the database, Commissioner Chavez, is.
And you also have to
held
buy
the
the
assessor.
information from those entities.
And this is just for people that are deceased, like.
No, it could be, say you're signing a homestead, been signing for 15, 20 years here. And it's been rocking along, but you're retired. You decide to move to Santa Fe, New Mexico. And that's where you move to. You rent your house out, but your tax bill still goes to your residence here. You have not told us you're not living there anymore, you're not doing a homestead. You reside in New Mexico. Your houses are, your cars are registered there, you have a driver's license there. We don't know that. You're still
renting your house out to me.
receiving, you're still getting a homestead here in Caddo Parish. But this company goes out and identifies where it looks like you're living. Now, they'll give us all the information and we make the determination if we feel like you're not living there anymore. We will send you a letter saying that we're going to, stop your homestead and revoke the homestead for this past year. And if you want to appeal that decision, please do so in writing in 10 days. Otherwise, it'll go forward. We'll give the tax commission the information to supplement it to the tax roll. They, in turn, send the information to the sheriff's office, who sends them a new tax bill for that homestead portion.
Okay.
Now, once that tax is collected, that company identifies which account got paid, and they in turn send the commission a bill for $400. Then they will ask for each tax body who received money from that to pay their portion. So you go receive $980 if it's a $75,000 homestead. You're gonna pay on $400. The tax bodies will. So.
You said they're going to send the commission a bill for $400?
$400, that's right, for one account. Now, if they did two accounts, it's $800. It's $400 per account identified.
I thought it was determined that it wasn't going to cost us anything.
Well, it doesn't. It doesn't cost you because it comes out of the tax money that's received that was not there before.
So they only get paid if they actually get some money.
That's right. If they identify one we disagree with and we don't send a bill out, or we don't, change it, they don't get paid on that one.
They mining for diamonds.
All right. I still stand by my motion. I'd like to take it to committee and actually talk about it. But it's up to 12 people up here, so. Is that everything?
Attorney Frazier.
I would just like to apologize because they met with me initially. I brought this to Dr. Wilson. I did not put a fact sheet on them because we haven't had a practice of doing that for about 2 or 3 years. But I will do that in the future, even though it would have just said that it was a program recommended by the tax assessor, net cost to the parish. The only reason that we have to have an ordinance about it, that it's not purely an administrative function, is because it goes to more than one tax recipient body, and we have to have an intergovernmental agreement to make sure everybody has to pay their pro rata share. So that's why, and so as far as it coming to the commission or whatever, this would be the time to present it to you because this is the only time that we have all 12 of you together. Now, if you all do think it needs to go to a committee to be presented to a smaller body and then a recommendation comes back, that's fine. You can either delay it or not move it forward at this time or send it to committee, or move it forward with the understanding that a committee would meet within the next 2 weeks, and the gentleman can come here twice, or he can come for the next work session, which I know he has on his calendar, if you all had questions, additional questions about it. But that's why it's being presented the way it's been presented. So I wanted to make sure that you all were aware that it came out of legal to administration.
And we don't own the process. We don't own the process. And we do not own the process. All the data relevant to the process.
Attorney Frazier, is that everything?
That's it.
Commissioner Dominic?
Call for the question.
Dies for a lack of a second.
He's calling for my question, right?
I'm calling for everything, question on everything.
Second. Okay.
Don't we have two motions?
Okay, the question has been called. Oh, excuse me.
I don't know, that's your call.
I'll say it goes. Anyway, motion for call for the question by Commissioner Dominic, second by Commissioner Chavez. Please vote. That passes with majority vote. Please vote on the issue that was made by Commissioner Chavez.
To remand back to the Economic Development Committee.
Yes.
This is the first one. So we got two motions. First one is here.
That's correct.
Sorry, Charlie.
This is the motion to go to committee.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, that dies.
On the main motion.
Then we vote on the main motion.
Move it forward.
Oh, I hit the wrong thing, Carl.
Okay, just let me know.
That moves forward.
Is that against Mr. Jackson's against or up? Up, okay.
Next item, please.
All right, authorize introduction of ordinance number 5599 to deem property surplus and authorize transfer of surplus property owned by the Parish of Caddo to YWCA of Northwest Louisiana.
So move.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Bowman, second by Commissioner Cawthorn. See no one on the board, please vote. That moves to Thursday. Next item.
Authorize resolution number 52, encouraging and supporting summertime block engagement throughout Caddo Parish, including all municipalities within the parish.
So move. Third. Second.
Moved by Commissioner Bowman, second by Commissioner Johnson. Commissioner Bowman, did you want to speak on your motion?
I defer to
Commissioner Johnson, do you want to speak on your second?
Yes. Basically what this is if you saw the email that I sent you about a workable plan, this is point number 2, dealing with a summertime block engagement program. And basically it encourages all the citizens of Caddo Parish to come outside on a particular date, which the date is either going to be July 26th or the first Tuesday in August, or more likely July 26th, to come out and meet your neighbors, and then elect a block captain, and that block captain will then keep everyone informed of what's going on within the block. If someone goes out of town, that person can then make sure that the other neighbors make sure that they know to keep that neighbor's house watch while they're gone. And then over a period of time, it encourages those neighborhoods that don't have a neighborhood association using those block captains. Those block captains can then form that neighborhood association that's needed in that particular neighborhood. And it gets the residents in all these communities engaged in trying to curtail the violence that's been happening in Caddo Parish.
Thank you. There's no one else on the board. Please vote.
Isn't that supposed to be hard?
Mr. Lynn?
There we go. That moves forward. Next item, please.
Authorize resolution number 53, requesting the Government Plaza Chamber Standing Committee to meet and consider upgrading chamber voting and information technology systems and addressing meeting security measures.
Move for Thursday.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Epperson, second by Commissioner Bowman. Commissioner Epperson, did you want to speak on your motion?
I assume everyone has read the resolution. I think we've gotten to a point where we need to look at enhancing security, not only what happens in other areas, but since I've been here, even on the fourth floor of the old Caddo Parish Courthouse where we met, there was some people sometimes that come up that you wonder. So I think we need to step our game up collectively with the city to make sure that we enhance security and maintain proper decorum at our meetings.
Commissioner Bowman, did you want to speak on your second?
I concur with Commissioner Epperson. Thank you, sir.
Commissioner Atkins.
Commissioner Epperson, is this motion primarily about security in the chamber, or is it also about technology? I know we've had some technology issues. I didn't know if this came from you or came from Todd.
Yes, I'm sorry. They come under the same committee. Of course, you know, we've been talking about this antiquated system here. We have to wait on it, so all those will be addressed under that same committee.
Okay.
And I think Mr. Bernstein, who authored the resolution, I don't know if he sent you all the bylaws relative to the charge of this committee, but if not, he can send it to you. So all these will come under the same auspices.
Okay, thank you.
Commissioner Johnson.
Yes, Dr. Wilson, last year we had a meeting about this, and the city was supposed to be working on some stuff, around the elevators and also around here as well, but haven't heard anything else. We hadn't had any other meetings besides that one.
No, sir, we appropriate money in our budget for the elevators, but I don't know about the systems. Todd will probably have a better understanding on that than I am.
Okay, now
With respect to the equipment here.
Okay, I also know that last year that the city council changed their method of people coming in. People will have to be scanned before they come in, because last year they had a person that brought a dead dog to the city council meeting.
Right.
So after they did that, that was between the Thanksgiving and Christmas holidays. A gentleman reached in his bag and pulled out a dead animal. So they basically now scan people as they come in. So since I've been down here, and I've been criticized for the same reason of saying that we need to strengthen the security of coming into the chamber, because if you have a citizen, and we've had some touchy subjects, we had the gun issue, every time this monument at the courthouse comes up, you get people, and when you have animal issues, you get people that come in here, and sometimes you don't know what their frame of mind is. One lady came, said her dog was put down, and she had him in a little box. And so you don't know how she will feel about what kind of vote we take. We've had other people that's been in here. You don't know how they're going to react behind a vote that we take. So I think that you should have something. I mean, we have the sheriffs out there, but by the time the sheriffs react to what's going on, it's too late. They're out there and we in here. And when we do have crowds, we do have them in here. And I got criticized last year about why I had so many sheriffs in here. Well, if we got a chamber full, I don't know what's in there. I mean, you got people from all walks of life, all kind of conditions. You don't know their mental state. And they come in here and want to do damage to somebody that's sitting around this horseshoe only because they disagree with something that we said and they feel strongly about it their way. And we represent the other people that's not here, that don't take off work, that don't come down here, but we're supposed to be the voice for them as well. So, if you feel that you're safe in here, and there's other incidents across the United States where elected officials are being threatened and some of them being shot in here. So just want to make sure that we do something that we should do in this time and age that we have. Thank you.
Commissioner Dominic.
Yeah, I don't have a problem looking at the security issue. Main thing I was wanting to look at was the technology. We keep having so many problems with, and computers going out, screens going out, we can't see anything. So that's obviously going to be addressed in this committee. So I'll be moving it forward too.
Commissioner Jackson.
My question got answered a moment ago.
Administrator Wilson.
Yes, Commissioners, I stand to be corrected. The elevators that we looked at last year, we're upgrading the elevators. I think it came out to about $1.5 million.
That didn't get included in the budget because we had our part. I'm not sure what the city had theirs or not, but there is $55,000 in this year's budget to enhance the equipment in here. And I don't know what that's at, but I'll find out. And also, I did inquire about increasing the security, enhancing security in here by checking bags at the front, at the doors, like the city, doing the city meetings. And we're looking at making sure that happens. So that's currently underway.
Thank you. That's everybody on the board. Please vote. That moves forward. Next item, please.
Authorize travel for Commissioner Lynn Cawthorn, approving travel to Johannesburg, South Africa.
Tier 1.
Move to Thursday.
Second. Oh, sorry.
Moved by the chair, second by Commissioner Johnson.
I think it was going.
I don't see anybody that wants to vote. Please vote.
That was my vote.
That moves forward. Next item.
Discuss action relative to, well, I missed one here. Authorize travel for commissioners to New Orleans.
So move.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Epperson, second by Commissioner Bowman. Excuse me, Cawthorn.
Like,
Commissioner Epperson.
some of you may remember, I think about a month or so, I had asked the administration to look in the possibility of doing business with Cuba. Being on the executive committee, Police Jury Association, Dr. Strand, the agricultural commissioner, had addressed us in Baton Rouge, and we never did hear anything. So we got an email the other day stating that there would be a deal. I don't know if all of you got it or not, and I had wanted to go. It's a one-day deal from 9 to 3 on the 22nd. However, I had a speaking engagement that I thought was in the morning. I was going to drive down early and come back. But I would just like to leave this open for any commissioner that may be able to go and bring that information back, or ask the administration if they can send someone down and bring that information back, or what is NLEP, what's the lady's name that works for us?
That was from NLEP.
Right.
And we've already contacted them. They're going to give me an update on whether or not they will be attending that meeting or not.
Okay, so
Dale Dudley?
That'll be, right, my motion would be, if there's a commissioner that can go and would like to go, that we would open it up to them. I won't be able to go. However, there will be an option that NLP can go down and bring that information back to us anyway. So one way or another, we'll be able to get some information relative to this.
Thank you. Commissioner Atkins?
Commissioner
Or Commissioner Cawthorn, I don't know if you wanted to speak on
Yes,
this.
very briefly. I have a good friend of mine who serves on the New Orleans Port Authority, and I won't be able to attend this on the 22nd, but he had invited me and some business owners here in the Shreveport area. He chairs the Economic Development Committee for the port, and they're looking at doing business with Cuba. So if we don't get a chance to, someone get a chance to attend this, he wants to formulate a coalition of people from North Louisiana to come down to a special meeting at the Port Commission in New Orleans.
Thank you, Commissioner Cawthorn. I apologize, Commissioner Atkins, for not recognizing.
Commissioner Epperson answered my question. Thank you.
Commissioner Jackson?
Yeah, could we get NLEP to make sure everybody is on there? Or am I the only one who doesn't get them?
Oh, yeah. Yes, sir. I mean, Commissioner Epperson sent me that.
Yeah,
But
I know
I'll make
Christine,
sure that
yeah,
they send that to
Christine sends
everybody.
them out, but she may not have the new folks' information, so she could.
We'll make sure everybody's on the
Yeah, she
email.
sends them out periodically when there's updates and stuff like that. 'Cause I may have gone, but I didn't get the email, so. And I don't plan to go for the record. Nope. That's it.
All right, everybody please vote. That moves forward. Next item, please.
Discuss action relative to Veteran Services Affairs Committee.
I would like to move that this body would forward the minutes of the Veteran Services Affairs Committee of June 6, 2016 to Thursday's meeting for formal reception of those minutes and including them in our official proceedings of Thursday, if I can get a second.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Epperson, second by Commissioner Stormy Gage Watts. Would you like to speak on your motion?
This is something that basically we used to do in the early stages of the commission once we went to our committees. And I think it's important that we include the formal minutes within our formal proceedings of our official meetings on Thursday. Therefore, you will have the recommendations and everything that transpired within that particular committee that will be included in the official actions of the full body. To either, if there were some action items in there, you vote to accept them, reject them, or amend them, or change them, or whatever. And then, therefore, once the records are in place, at some point in time in the future, need you go back, you will have all of those things under one umbrella, where you can find all of those issues at one particular place. So that being my reason for requesting that we do this. Not saying that you would approve the actions, but that you receive the minutes of that committee to include them in our formal meeting procedures on Thursday of an official committee meeting. Also, I'd just like to mention that in that meeting, one thing that was alarming to me, as well as the number of people that had viewed the video and the minutes that came out that we had during the public comment sections. We had a gentleman named Mr. Bill Nichols, and we were speaking about the USS Gillette, and of course they forwarded him under the public comment time to make whatever public comments he wanted. And one of the items in his comments was he stated, "In my opinion, the career of the USS Gillette is really unremarkable. It is not memorialized at the U.S. Submarine Museum in Charleston, nor on the grounds of Naval Academy in Indianapolis, other than being listed as one of several submarines lost at sea. I, as well as a number of persons that saw this statement, found it to be quite callous, inhumane, and uncompassionate that someone could make a statement of that sort, minimizing the loss of lives of 82 members in a United States submarine in an action of defense of this nation. Some of you may remember Dory Miller, the first African American that received the Medal of Honor. He was a cook. So I don't see how no one could minimize the life of 82 members of the United States Armed Services and make that sort of statement. I think this person owes an apology to the United States Navy as well as all other persons that served in the military. And I ask for your advancement of this to Thursday's agenda.
Commissioner Stormy Gage Watts, do you want to speak on your second?
Sure. I think that it's a good idea for us to be able to look at the committee meetings formally, and it will be available for us on PDF. So I think that we're moving in the right direction with adopting this to move to Thursday.
Thank you. Commissioner Atkins?
I just wanted a clarification here. Commissioner Epperson, we're just proposing...
Pardon me, I'm sorry again. I did it again, Commissioner Atkins. I needed to call Commissioner Bowman ahead of you, and I was
okay, I'm
looking
used
at...
to it.
I apologize, Commissioner Bowman. I apologize, Commissioner Atkins.
No, I prefer to Atkins. Only thing I wanted to say, though, to Epperson was, would you suggest that what, like you did with the minutes of the meetings, be something that's a proactive practice for all committee to do? Okay.
Okay, and Commissioner Atkins, thank you.
Just to clarify, Commissioner Epperson, you're just proposing folding the minutes into the minutes of the meeting. You're not proposing reading the minutes in the
No,
session. Okay.
because we should do that ahead of time. They send that to us. So I think if you click on there, it's there. We should be able to read that, and if we have some concerns, of course. But the thing is, see the formal action of that particular committee, advance it to the formal meeting where we can vote on something, put it in the formal records of that body in the official meeting, and it's there in perpetuity,
I understand.
depending upon those issues that arose during that period of time.
Thank you.
Commissioner Bowman, is there anything else?
No, sir. Thank you, Mr. President.
Commissioner Jackson.
Mr. Clerk, Madam Attorney, I guess I have a twofold question here. This right here is something separate, though. Is that what I'm getting? Because I'm kind of lost. I thought we had one issue was just to advance. Well, I guess my question should be to the author or to make other motion. So I'll address that to the chair. Is the motion here to advance this particular committee minutes or to advance all of them? Is the motion on the floor?
The particular committee meetings that's specified on your agenda.
Okay, and you're recommending,
that
so
we
I
move
assume we'll
forward.
get something at a later date about doing all of them? That way?
Yes, if that's the purview, I'm strictly focusing on this. I'm not doing a blanket deal.
Right, okay. And then assuming, I guess this is my question to the clerk and the attorney, assuming that comes and is passed, the only changes we could technically make would be technical changes. We couldn't change the substance or the outcomes of those committee meetings. Is that?
No.
It's my understanding, right, it's my understanding that they would be or have been adopted, or any technical changes would go through their committee, at their committee level, any changes at their committee level.
Okay.
The commission would only be folding them into their minutes.
Gotcha.
May I point out that in the early 90s, they did do that. They did away with that because now we ratify, because it's done by motion and second to recommend to the board, then it's ratified in this meeting. Because of the cost of taking all these minutes and putting them in our regular minutes, you're going to increase the cost of your publishing. So that's one of the reasons they did away with that. Because when you have a committee meeting, the motions and the seconds, who was there, and then whether it was recommended to the board, what was recommended to the board is approved. That's what's important. Everything else is lagniappe in the sense of state law.
Appreciate the clarification.
Got everything? Commissioner Epperson.
I disagree with being lagniappe. I think record keeping is very important. I don't think the cost will be astronomical. We've seen some issues that has arisen because of poor record keeping. And I think this is a worthwhile venture to make sure that we have transparency and make sure that issues that arose within a certain time frame can be researched, and all of them will be under one area and minimize research time.
Got everything?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Hopkins, my question, and so this 1 minute notice would appear underneath our full journal for the committee, but no other minutes as of right now. So if somebody was looking for the minutes of all the meetings and they happen across these here, they would find just this 1 minute, this one group of minutes for this one meeting, but no others. Right. But that they could go to the minutes of the subcommittees that are also on the website and see every minute for every meeting, every time for every committee.
That's correct. They are put on, except for I think our administrator and commission clerk meeting that one time a year. I'm not sure it's published, but the rest of them are.
My only caution in this is continuity, in that if a person is looking for minutes and they find them in one spot, then that's when they're going to go, that's where they're going to go look. However, if they go to that one spot and they find that one thing that they're looking for, and then they keep looking for the rest, but the rest aren't there, just that one meeting from this one time, or that the one group of minutes, and then the ones that follow after that, that we should either adopt and move all minutes over there in duplication or none at all. And to piecemeal in something as important as record finding, I find that haphazard, and in every minute notice is, so this is another question. So will there be a place, or can we adopt that if somebody is looking for the rest of the minutes for the Veterans Committee, or the rest of the minutes for any other committee that we have, that they go back to the website page and look underneath that committee's meetings? Or do we need to put that in this motion to have that in there in case somebody's looking for these minutes and they find it in our regular minutes, and then they go looking for the others? Do we need to steer them to the rest? I mean, is that?
I mean, they're available. They're available online. When this came about Friday, I went back and looked, and I went back to the creation of the commission. Now, the police jury is different, and I did not find minutes. I found motions and seconds to adopt the committee minutes, but not actual minutes attached into those work session or, well, regular session minutes. Nowhere did I find those attached.
I'm not going to support this simply because I think that we have a greater mechanism in place that if somebody is looking for minutes, they can go to the committee minutes and look for them. And to have one group of minutes for one committee meeting in the whole minutes and not every single one of them, then I think that that's misleading the public. Anyway, that's all. See no one else on the board, please vote. That moves to Thursday. Next item, please.
Discuss action relative to the Long Range Special Projects Committee.
I'd like to make a motion that same situation relative to the minutes of the Long Range Planning Committee meeting of June the 9th, 2016 be advanced to Thursday's agenda, so that those proceedings of that meeting can be placed in the official proceedings of this body. If I can get a second.
Second. Motion's been made by Commissioner Epperson, and was that seconded by Commissioner Johnson? Okay. Commissioner Epperson, you're free to speak on that.
Lady and gentlemen, basically the same process. I think it's important that we remain transparency in our record keeping. You know, we talk about costs on some things, but when it comes to our housekeeping, I think cost is most important. Make sure that we have everything that's structured, that's orderly, that's articulate, that's compressed. Here and again, I'm sure many of you have seen some situations that has arisen, whereas poor record keeping is a problem, be it misspelling or whatever it is. And research can be a devil of a time going through things, even with public records requests. So for that reason, I ask for your same consideration here. Then once again, if your committee meets and you're sincere about transparency and compression and openness in government, that you would follow this same situation also. So I would like to ask for your support, the same measure here with this situation.
Commissioner Johnson, would you like to speak on your second?
I'll defer to after the other one.
Commissioner Chavez.
As the chairman of this, and also a new commissioner, I don't know if this may be a president question or a doctor question. The formalities of when something goes to a committee, it's my understanding that that chairman and that committee, it's been placed in their hands, and once they're done, they kind of come and bring it back to the body. Am I wrong in thinking that the whole point of sending a committee, we should just bring stuff back up to the floor? Other people Doctor, I'll refer that to you. How does this work?
That's correct. Typically, our practice has been, once the committee makes a recommendation, this is the committee chair that brings it back to this committee and give a report on the outcome, whether or not the committee was in favor of it. I was not in favor of the motion being considered at the time.
So I guess in your opinion, if collectively the commission voted to send this to the committee, it should pretty much stay there so those guys could hash it out, and girl, until they come with a resolution to bring it back to the body?
That's typically been the case, but there have been also cases where a commissioner, under their prerogative, would bring it to put it on the agenda of this floor to entertain it as well.
Okay.
You can't stop a commissioner from putting anything on the agenda that they choose to do so. They'll be talked about in this forum.
All right, and thank you, Doctor. Since I still have the floor, one more thing, and Commissioner Epperson, I can address you through the chair. I trust that the guys around here and girl that President Lynn has appointed to be committees and committee chairs are doing their job. And so I guess the question is, do you feel that we're not doing our job?
It's a trick question.
That's why I wonder. How can you direct the question to the chair relative to an issue that I brought up?
The relative, then I will repeat the question. The relative is that people direct questions to the chair and then we redirect it rather than addressing each other. That way it makes it much easier for Mr. Hopkins to keep notes of what actually happens in the committee. And so I guess what's being recognized is that this was sent to long-range committee, that long-range committee has it, that we're reaching out to people, that anybody that wants to serve in the citizens review of this committee to forward their names and request to me at mlynn@caddo.org. And in recognition that you have, as not a member of that committee, jumped into somebody else's role and put something on the agenda.
Mr. Chairman, I beg to differ with you, sir. That's not the issue. The issue is the same as I brought up in my committee. Just take the minutes of that particular committee, forward them to Thursday, incorporate them into the official action of the meeting. That's it. That's it. Not changing anything. That's it.
Anything else, Commissioner Chavez, since you have the floor?
No, President, that's all.
Commissioner Atkins.
I think I understand what Commissioner Epperson is proposing. You're proposing, well, it appears that you're proposing that we have the minutes from the committee meetings both in the listing of the electronic listing of the committee meetings where they currently exist, and dovetail them on to the commission meeting as well. So it's really, and I don't have a big problem with it. It's just kind of an issue of redundancy, and I just want to make sure I understood the issues. Thank you.
That's it.
Commissioner Bowman.
Brother Atkins, Commissioner Atkins answered what I wanted to ask. I was wondering though, can I ask through you, President, to Commissioner Epperson? Yes. All right. So when we do this, should we include, I'm just getting your professional opinion, should we include the whole thing, like from that committee, all those minutes?
The minutes of that particular committee.
That's why I want clarity. That's why I want to ask you.
Commissioner Dominic.
Yeah, I want Commissioner Epperson has brought stuff up like this before, and not that I totally agree with it, but I've known that he's had issues, and he said over and over and over before you guys were on the committee that he thought that all of our committee minutes simply need to be approved by us. And I hope I'm not speaking out of turn, but it's just for clarification. The motion is simply to say, hey, look, these are the minutes, and we're approving them. We're not saying and changing anything to the committee. It's just being a part of our record keeping. Is that pretty much correct?
And let's not say we're approving, okay? We're receiving.
Receiving them, okay.
Right.
Receiving these minutes because they were done by our committee, and they are, part of our regular minutes also, in addition to being on the web. So I think Ken's probably gonna, you know, hold some of our feet to the fire and say, hey, look, we received that and there they are, so you can look at them. So,
That's the purpose.
you know, that's the purpose of it. So if you agree with it and you think we need to receive, vote yes. If you think we don't, vote no.
I'm trying to remember who had the floor since we're passing it back and forth. Commissioner Bowman, I was thinking, had the floor. No? Okay, you had the floor. Okay, now Commissioner Johnson.
Okay, I don't really want to muddy the waters, but I've heard this twice today about the president will make some kind of committee outside of our committee. And I'm looking at the bylaws, Article 1, and it goes into rule number 2 and G, and the only power that the president has is to assign members of this body to committees and chairmanship, not the outside public. And that's the question I asked earlier. If it's people from the outside, then there should be a process in which those people will be put onto a committee and not a person. That means everybody up here has to vote on that process, and we have to agree to that process. It can't be just one person when there's a public committee, but if it's a committee of commissioners, then you can assign those. I just want to have that as a clarification. On the other part, you know, this group started out at the beginning in January talking about transparency, and this is a move for transparency. I mean, everybody doesn't have computers. Some households don't have any, but they can go and get a 50-cent newspaper and read what's going on. So, I mean, why are you fighting transparency? Thank you.
Commissioner Epperson.
I have not. Have I passed?
You have not? Okay, Commissioner Jackson.
I'm finished.
Todd, we don't publish committee meetings now?
They're on the website. We do not put them in the newspaper. That's correct. Because they are only making a recommendation to the full body.
Right, and you're saying state law does not require us.
That's correct.
To publish them. So this is purely optional for us
Correct.
to publish. You know, that's interesting, especially with our publishing. I see Mr. Collins back there. Please let Miss Sandra know I sent her an email and hope she can get my slip. I don't see what the issue is here as long as we're not changing the substance. And I want to be kind of clear and on the record. As long as we're not changing the substance. Am I clear? Is this what we're not? Or whoever can answer that for me. We're not changing the substance.
No. Yeah, I can answer it.
No, you're being asked to receive the minutes from the meeting and make them a part of your official minutes for the meeting at which you receive.
Okay, now the cost is gonna come out of the commission budget?
That's correct.
City council budget.
No, it's gonna come out of this budget.
I'm just saying, you know, so have we budgeted for that?
We've got money.
Hopkins, have we budgeted?
No, we haven't budgeted for that, and we don't really know what that cost will be. It will depend upon how many committee meetings are held, how long those minutes are. There's some other determinations, for example, like the last long-range committee that met. A committee met, but there were no votes. So do you want to put all that in there? There's no recommendations from the body.
So let me.
So I don't know what the cost will be at this time. We'll just have to see.
Right, and like I said, I don't have a problem with what's going on. So everybody, please calm down. I don't have a problem with what's going on. I'm trying because I'm voting. My vote to me matters. And so, Commissioner, I'm trying to just strike a compromise here, I guess. Would you be okay with just the action item, or you want them verbatim?
Let's do the minutes, the same as, sir, and as a point of information, committee meetings must be publicized in accordance with the Sunshine Law 24 hours in advance to the public, like regular meetings. Am I correct?
Okay,
they are advertised, yes.
Well, that's what I'm saying, so why?
That's where I'm lost at. That's why I'm asking these questions.
Right,
it seems like I want to make sure we haven't missed some, but it seems like we're doing it, but whatever.
We have to.
I don't think Commissioner Stormy Gage Watts has spoken yet.
I haven't. Call for the question.
Second.
The woman always makes logical sense.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Moved by Commissioner Stormy Gage Watts, it's a second by Commissioner Bowman. Please vote. That moves forward. Next item.
No, that's a call to question. Now we need to vote.
Yes. That moves forward. Next item.
Authorize special resolution of recognition, Mr. Jeff Roberts.
I second Commissioner Chavez's motion.
So moved.
Okay?
Yeah, I was talking to him, sorry about
All
that.
right, I wanted to do that.
Welcome to Shreveport Cross Lake.
Oh, excuse me. So Commissioner Chavez, what was your motion?
Oh, it was special resolution recognition.
Did you want to speak on it?
No, I'll speak on it, Dennis. It'll be pretty impressive and lengthy.
We just went down, so if you'd like to
just went
speak,
down.
and then if you
Okay.
want.
Okay, excuse me.
I'm already dreaming of it.
There we go.
Okay.
And my agenda is dead.
Yeah, everything's
It
good.
just crashed, so.
Okay, I got mine. You have a hard copy? Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Have a hard time.
if there's no one else to speak, then all we would need to do is
Vote.
I'm on there to speak.
We on there speak. We got
Okay.
two people on board.
Okay. Commissioner Stormy Gage Watts.
Thank you, sir. I would just like to say that on your special resolution of recognition, Mr. Leonard Holden, the band director, he's 5-star. I would just like to make a friendly amendment that you would add him in to be recognized as you recognize him, Southwood High School.
I like that. What's his name?
Leonard Holden.
Bernard or Leonard?
Leonard
Leonard.
Holden.
Second.
Thank you.
I'll invite him as well. Thank you, Commissioner.
You're welcome.
Is that everything?
point of information. Am I doing a resolution for the principal or for the school?
For the principal.
And the
Okay.
director.
Okay, and the band director now. Okay. Just want to be sure.
Commissioner Johnson?
Yeah, Commissioner Watts just gave us a reason why to add the band director. I'm just want to know what's the reason for the principal. It can be some short.
They went from like an F school to a B school since he's been there. They won like first place in ROTC. They won first place and like, it's
High
impressive.
bar.
That's cool.
That's cool.
My cousin.
The machine's back up.
It is, okay.
I didn't make a motion at the committee meeting today. The technology committee.
The committee take care of this stuff.
We voting?
Yes.
Yeah. No brainer.
That passes. Next item.
We have consent agenda.
Jim, you don't like that principal, do you?
Pardon?
Consent agenda.
You like, no, I'd like to make a statement before we close.
Point of personal privilege given to Commissioner Epperson to make a speech.
What about this, Steve?
To Mr. Wilson, administration, if you would, at the direction to facilities and maintenance, based upon the offense that I feel toward veterans relative to the comments that was made in my Veterans Affairs meeting of June the 6th. I would like for my photo to be removed from the Caddo Parish Courthouse and be replaced with Lady Justice to show my disregard for those comments that was made. If I can do that, thank you.
Meeting adjourned.
You the artist formerly known as? You the artist formerly?
Does that mean that picture out there too, sir?
Commissioner Evans.